It's been a minute since I've posted, guys, but I have been on a decluttering spree. I have been giving things away. I have been giving things to the thrift shop in our area that benefits cats. I'm going to show you some grocery hauls. We're going to make a couple of different recipes, including this breakfast pocket sandwich. And I'm going to elevate some Denny Moore and make a shepherd's pie out of that. I'm going to talk to you about some mistakes I made in my pantry and take you along for a snapshot of what I do in a day with my job and let you meet the newest addition to our family. Come along. For breakfast this morning, I decided to make these savory Pop-Tarts with these dough sheets, kind of like a breakfast scramble wrapped in a puff pastry. So I added a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil to a pan, and then I had these canned potatoes that I needed to use up, and unfortunately they were the sliced, not the diced, so I just used one of those hamburger grinder things and mixed that up. I added some freeze-dried bell pepper and then a bunch of seasonings, some Julio, some smoked salt, some onion, and a little bit of garlic, and just gave that a good stir. I also decided to add some of the Steak and Shake seasoning, which is kind of an all-purpose. And then we put a little bit of pepper and just everything that we could find in our pantry that we thought sounded good. And then we threw in a couple of eggs and just kind of scrambled that in with the mixture. And now we're going to get started on putting some bacon bits in there. You can use the kind that come in a shaker, but we had these shelf-stable bacon strips that we needed to use up. So I went ahead and just cut this with my kitchen shears into little bite-sized pieces. And then I did have some bacon pieces that are vegetarian. They are soy crumbles if you're making it for a vegetarian like we have in our home. Then I put a couple of slices of cheese in there and put something on top of it so they would steam and it would melt. And obviously you can grate up cheese too, but I just had some sliced cheese that I needed to use up. And now we are going to go ahead and unroll the pastry sheets. Y'all, I was trying so hard to unroll this thing, and it was just so humid that everything was sticky, and I was just struggling big time. It was very slapstick, but eventually I got it unrolled, and it's very forgiving. If you do tear it, you can just put it back together again. Now, after I got all the mixture assembled and let it cool off a little bit, I decided to cut the dough into just 4 pieces, which in reality only made 2 big, huge Pop-Tarts, if you will. Now, if you were going to make the kind that are fruit-filled, like where you put some jam in there or peanut butter, you can make them smaller, but I knew I had a lot of stuffing that I wanted to put in here, and it was just for Corey and I, so I just decided to make a couple of giant ones. So I put the mixture on one side, and then the other 2 are what goes over the top. So once I got these Pop-Tarts stuffed, unfortunately the dough was just so breakable and sensitive, I couldn't even really center it properly. I melted a little bit of butter and just dusted that over the top, and I then proceeded to close up the ends so the mixture would not ooze out of the sides. But as you can tell by looking at it, I mean, the dough was just so easily breakable, and it was a challenge. I poked some holes in it, and I put some everything bagel seasoning in it, and then I just followed the directions on the package. Once this was baked, it was so much easier to work with. This is the perfect grab and go breakfast. Corey ate his with a dash of hot sauce. Hey everybody, I hope that you're doing well today. I was supposed to take today as kind of a rest and recuperate day because I needed that badly. But we're out and about running errands. We've been to Costco, Target, now we're at H-E-B. We've been kind of trying to purge and declutter around the house. I gave away a lot of bathing suits I've had for a couple of years that I've never even worn, some still with their tags. I'm trying to find things to donate to that cat shelter that I had mentioned in a previous video. It's a thrift shop. All proceeds go to benefiting their homeless cats. I ended up donating these beautiful little lap trays that have the marble on top and this back extension thing, I forget what it's called, where you hang upside down. And someone gave that to us for free, so we just donated that, as well as this little treadmill. I'm also getting rid of things on the Facebook page called Give Freely. We got rid of a bunch of hand sanitizer wipes that we bought during the pandemic. We must have had a case of 20, and I think we still have like 10 left. I'm trying to kind of donate some things to the cat shelter, some things I'm just giving away to people in my community. I donated a gossip bench. I thought they were going to sand it and restore it first, but I guess they're selling it as is. I donated a bunch of candles. My little Olivia did such a good job gathering these and getting them organized. Wags to Whiskers is an awesome organization, and I have actually shown you a tour of their thrift shop a video or two ago, but every time you go they have all new things. Hazel's loving her $5 pillow. Her pillow is in the washing machine, so she needs something to lay on when we drive around. Olivia loves to take videos and pictures of herself, but for whatever reason, when I turn the camera on her, she becomes so camera shy.
Set for $10 in total, and it looks like something from Pandora. There's like a little crown charm on it right there.
Sweet.
And then I got
some earrings are in the middle.
Yeah.
And then that's like a jewelry holder or something. Can I see it? Girl, all the rings you got aren't going to fit in there.
Well, I'm going to put like two, like my favorites or something.
Okay. I think we got a good deal, under 20 bucks. So I'm about to show you a small grocery haul. Now, please don't judge. It's a bunch of junk. We buy healthy foods throughout the week, and I just don't post it. We get vegetables every few days and our milk and dairy. Meat, we have a freezer full of meat, so you're not going to see a lot of that. But I want to give you a backstory on why it looks like there's so much junk. Yesterday, I went to the dentist. They had to do some deep gum cleaning, and I had a cavity. I've gone decades without having any cavities. I take really good care of my teeth. The only thing I did differently was switch to fluoride-free toothpaste, because I keep hearing, ooh, fluoride's so bad for you and all that, which I guess in large doses is probably the case, but you probably need some, and I wasn't getting any. So yeah, I had to get a filling yesterday. Then I went straight to my orthopedic appointment, which they said, yes, you have advanced stage osteoporosis in your knee. I got a cortisone shot. They said, yeah, you're 51 years old with a 61-year-old knee. And he said that getting a knee transplant or a knee replacement surgery is probably inevitable, but doesn't need to be done in the next few years or anything. But we'll just try the cortisone shots as needed. With the cortisone shots, it's a steroid, and he told me, yeah, you'll probably be hungry, which I not only didn't eat all day because of the dental work, but then I went and got steroid shot. At midnight, I was on the phone updating my H-E-B order going, oh, and add these cookies, and add this, and add this piece of cake. And so anyway, you'll see the haul. Let's go look at it. Yes, I know I have a pantry full of mixes to make my own cake, but I absolutely love the bakery cake at H-E-B. Their icing is all thick and fudgy, and sometimes you just want one little piece of cake. You don't want to make a huge one. These black and white cookies from the bakery are awesome too. Duo soft cake bars. I never heard of these before, but it's like a vanilla cake with some chocolate icing. Chloe is doing keto right now, so I got her some pizza crust that's made with cauliflower. We got some Tillamook mozzarella cheese, and I got myself some turkey slices. Turkey cranberry salad. I've had the PB Fit before, but never the peanut butter and chocolate and apple juice. I wanted to get the regular croissants, not the sweet Hawaiian, but these were like half price, so I was like, screw it, I'm getting these because I'm going to make like ginormous pigs in a blanket instead of doing buns. The banana pudding yogurt. What I do with this, I don't even think I've tried it plain yet. I bet it's good, but what I do is I take my Jif peanut butter and chocolate and just put a little spoonful in here because banana goes with chocolate and peanut butter. So I put that in there, mix it up, and it's insanely delicious. Bananas, Olivia, some of the Lala smoothie drinks, croissants, cinnamon rolls. Yes, I had a major sweet tooth. Do not order when you're hungry. Chloe's doing the keto, so I got her some keto bread. Got a little bit of sour cream. I forgot to mention in our HEB grocery haul, because Corey had already put all this away, they were passing out samples of this garlic sausage. And this pack is $12. I know that's kind of expensive, but he said it was really, really good. So he had to get some of this. And HEB does these freebies where they promote an item and then they give you all these things for free. So if you bought these, you got some of their brownies from the bakery, some of their bakery tortillas, and some pinto beans. We picked up a couple of things from Costco. I really love their convenience foods. Berea burnt ends. These are similar to the Starbucks egg bites and a whole lot cheaper. Caramelized onion and aged white cheddar chicken burgers. If y'all are familiar with Crumble cookies, they make a cereal now, so I was curious to see if it tasted like the cookie cereal that I had growing up. I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Cookie Crisp. Dunkin' Donuts glazed donut flavor syrup. This came from HEB. I don't even eat pancakes that often, but I thought that sounded good. Tonight we are doing a semi-homemade meal. That is, it is made in my home, but we are going to do an elevated Dinty Moore stew. I love that stuff. I can eat it just as is. So you're going to start off by pouring a can of the soup into a slow cooker, and I added a little bit of water to get all the bits out of the bottom. I got a little bit of Better Than Bouillon. I believe this is the beef flavor, and I just kind of made a thin gravy to pour on top of this. And you can customize this any way you want. I put some green beans in there. I made the mistake of not draining the beans because I try to usually use that when I'm making a stew, and once again I messed up and used the wrong size slow cooker, so I had to turn around and dump everything into my bigger slow cooker. And like I said, normally I try to preserve the liquid from my canned vegetables and add those to stews, but I think in this instance I had it too much water going on, and I just put in some freeze-dried onions, some spices, some freeze-dried bell peppers, tomatoes. And so the first night we just ate this as a stew, and then the second night, let me show you what we're going to do with the leftovers. So the next day the meat was looking a little scarce, so I added a little can of roast beef to it just to kind of bulk it up a little bit. And then I made some instant mashed potatoes and just kind of gently spoon those over the top and then spread it out a bit because we are going to make a shepherd's pie. Next, I added this Parmesan cheese to the top just to give it a little bit of oomph, and then we baked it for a little bit, and dinner was done. Fun fact, I am obsessed with turtles. Corey found this cute turtle in the backyard, and I could not figure out if it was a tortoise or a box turtle. I know with the box turtles, you're supposed to leave them where you find them. And so we cut up a little bit of egg and gave him a couple of orange slices while we tried to figure out what kind of turtle he was. I went online to one of my groups that discusses snakes and different wildlife, and it was split down the middle. Half the people were saying, oh, that's somebody's pet, don't release it. And the other ones are like, it's box turtle, you must release it now. So we just put him back where we found him, and he eventually found his way out. Today I am making lima beans in the slow cooker. I just put them in the pot, added some onions and tomatoes that I had on hand, and then I added some freeze-dried bell peppers, and I put in a little bit of Hatch green chili. It is Hatch green chili season right now, so I'm putting that in everything. I added 32 ounces of our homemade smoked turkey broth, and then I had some freeze-dried diced ham, and I put some green onions in there. I was just throwing everything but the kitchen sink. And I added some Hatch green chili and tomatoes, a little bit of garlic. Then we just added a few seasonings and let it go on low for about 5 hours. So I wanted to update you a little bit on my pantry. As you can see, this empty space behind me that used to have a bunch of these bins that I got at the Dollar Tree. We came in here the other day to get rice or pasta, I don't really remember, and we just had some of these little containers that were crawling with bugs on the inside. Now, I know that when you buy something in bulk, like your flour and your rice, you're supposed to freeze it for a couple of days, but I didn't really think that that applied to these little individual packets of food. Macaroni and cheeses. When you buy those at the store, they're not in a little plastic package inside the cardboard box. They're just floating around loosely. They might work for keeping rodents out of your food, but they don't do anything for the bugs that are already in your food. Unfortunately, I had to throw a lot of things away. Things like these, if they are sealed, if they are like the Knorr pesticides, if they're in something like this, you should be okay. I know that a lot of people repackage, which that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But then, you got to write down the instructions, how to boil it with water, how much milk or butter to add. It just becomes a whole hassle. And then if you're putting them all into one big jar or something, then you have to measure it out, make sure you get the right amount. It's just easier for me to keep them in their individual packaging, but that's what happened. Well, first I'm going to be downsizing my pantry because one day we do plan to travel on the road around the country in an RV, and obviously I can't take this space with me. But I'm going to focus more on canned stuff because to me that's the safest. You don't have to worry about rodents getting into your cans or bugs crawling out of your cans. A lot of these are Knorr pesticides, so again, I think those are going to be safe. Just make sure you're inspecting your food real good and rinse your pasta, rinse your rice before you cook it and eat it. I'm sure many of you know I have a house full of cats and dogs and birds and rabbits and fish, but I also offer pet sitting services in my community, and I thought it would be fun to take you along and show you what I do in a day. I also do house sitting services where I check people's pool filters, I water their plants, I pick up their mail, I get their Amazon packages. I also offer shuttle to and from the airport, child care services. I drive the elderly around to their medical appointments, and so much more. I truly enjoy my job because not only do I love helping others, but I also get to meet people that I probably wouldn't cross paths with in my day-to-day life. My job is so fulfilling and it never gets old or boring. I'm constantly doing something new every day, and I can't believe I get paid to do what I absolutely love. These cute little Great Danes here, well, I guess they're not little, they're close to 200 pounds. Their owners let them drink out of the faucets of the bathtub and the sink because when they drink out of bowls, they literally just splash water all over the floor. The lima beans were done, but I went ahead and added about a teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon ham just to give it an elevated smoky flavor. Now we are going to make these cornbread muffins. You can either roll them into twists or you can roll them up into little pinwheels, and I'm about to do a little bit of both. Once I finished baking the cornbread muffins, I served up some of the lima beans, which I must say are the best lima beans I've ever had, and I just dipped the cornbread muffins in them. Although I am going through a major purge in my house, decluttering and downsizing, I did pick up some free things from that website in my community. I had to have this antique bed. I thought it was so gorgeous. So now let me show you a couple of more freebies I got. This narrow set of dresser drawers, I love it. You can put that in a small space. I got this virtually new laundry hamper. The doors don't open, it's just for decoration, but it's got that soft close lid, and I was absolutely obsessed with this vintage crib that they converted into a bench. I love it. I'm not going to paint over it. When I get home from volunteering at the dog shelter, I walk through some stuff, and I don't want to drag it into my house. So with my bad knee and everything, I needed a place to sit at when I walk into the door, take my shoes off, put on my house shoes or something, and not track all that stuff through the house. So I like this. Already my hubby is setting stuff on top of my new furniture, but how cute is this? It kind of matches the little bench, but it just has such a cute little farmhousey, but yet kind of like an Asian flair. I don't know how to describe it, but I just love this so much. I couldn't believe somebody was getting rid of this. It's got designs on the top. Looks like there was a little paint or something that got spilled, but we can get that up. Of course, Otis is laying on top of this hutch that I wanted to show you. It actually came apart while we were bringing it home because we didn't really pack it very well in the back of the truck. But he's laying on one of the doors. The other one looks like this. And all we got to do is just get some little pieces to, like little screws or something, to put it back on. Now, no, you can't really see this little farmhouse table, but I love this so much. Naturally, we're decluttering, so we've got a bunch of junk on it. And let's see, we went to Aldi, so these are a couple of end tables that we got for free. And it looks like somebody started to paint it. I wish they didn't, but whatever. So we're just kind of using those as little bench seats right now. I think if I do decide to turn them into permanent bench seats, we can put some cushions on them and make them all cute. This will need to be sanded. It's a little marked up. That's okay. Solid wood end table. There are 2 of them. Here is the other one. It's kind of dark in here. I know you can't see this coffee table, but it goes with the end tables. Or I should say the end tables go with the coffee table. You can see I've got a bunch of cookbooks here because I am transferring them into one big blank cookbook that I'm writing my recipes in, so I can get rid of a lot of my cookbooks. This rug that's already getting dog hair on it, we need to vacuum, but I got that for free as well. These these little end tables right here, we got free too. And then here by our freeze dryer, we have this little dresser. It's not really going to stay here, but it does kind of match the whole 50s diner that we have going on, but you can't really see that either because this is where we store our freeze-dried food as well as all the things that we are decluttering. One day I'll do before and afters where you can see what this diner looks like when it's completely clean. I forgot to mention we got a lot of MRE kits as well. I've been donating food to a blessing box in my neighborhood. It's in a church parking lot. We've got some questionable weather coming our way. I really hope it's not going to be a big deal, but it's very much reminding me of Hurricane Harvey. They say that tropical storm Beryl is heading towards the southeast coast of Texas. We shall see. Obviously, that stuff is unpredictable. I'm just feeling really like I need to start dwindling down some of my food, getting some food out to people. I know I worked really hard to get my pantry to where it is today, and I spent quite a bit of money on it. But the truth of the matter is, who's to say that I stocked my pantry for myself necessarily? Maybe God was leading me to a moment like this to help provide for other people. I'm just going to go through and just start seeing if any of my neighbors online need any of these items. I think that my pantry will be so much easier to control and not be overwhelmed by, and Best By dates won't be overlooked as easily if if it's just a little bit more manageable. I've already told someone they can have one of my 4-pound jars of peanut butter. All the peanut butters up there with the red lids, we made those in a peanut butter factory for homeless people. That's the natural peanut butter that goes for about $7 a jar at the grocery store. We were given them at a discount because we helped to make them, so we got them for like $1.50 a jar. And they're approaching their Best By date. And obviously I know we could go past the Best By date. I know this was a long one because it's been a while since I posted a video, but I wanted y'all to meet our newest family member, little Waldo. I was nervous that he wouldn't get along with Hazel, but they're best friends. This reminds me of the intro to the Brady Bunch for some reason. Welcome to the family, Waldo.